Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 14, a workflow presentation, part 1, introduction and collecting elements. I decided to split the workflow presentation into two lessons, avoiding having long videos. In the lesson 14, I'm going to introduce to you the workflow and we are going to collect elements in Python. Meanwhile, in the upcoming lesson, lesson 15, we are going to be focusing on main body Python scripting, and eventually we are going to take a quick look at creating custom nodes in Dynamo. Now let's start with introduction. My overall objective is assigning parameter values to shared parameters of all instance elements. I have already created 4 shared parameters and we will be working on work breakdown structure, the parameters presented in the red box. The parameters are assigned to 3 categories for this lesson, but you can add more. The data type of the parameters are set to text because all my values are a string. This is essential to have a right data type when we work with Python, since we are going to feed the Python node with a list of a string. There are a couple of points to consider. First, the first 3 parameters will have the same values across all elements, representing APF, building A, and discipline architecture. However, for the fourth parameter, which represents the level of the element and varies between them, we need to collect level of each element and insert it into this parameter. The other point is that we need to identify Revit API name of each parameter where we are going to get the value from. Some categories such as windows and doors have their level values stored in the built-in parameter called level. On the other hand, in the wall category, the levels are stored in the base constraint. For both, we need to take the correct Revit API parameter name. Today, we will be focusing on the first part of Python scripting, where we collect all the elements of the categories that we mentioned earlier. Now let's dive in. Alright, this is my project where we are going to apply this workflow. I know this is ugly as hell, but we are going to be focusing on our goal and the parameters that we introduced earlier. Now let's start Dynamo. I have already placed my Python script and I have imported the necessary libraries. Now let's start coding. First of all, we need to define the categories that we need for this Python script. I'm going to name it like categories. And from the built-in category, we search for walls. Let me copy this part and place it here. Doors. And windows. Then we close the list. And of course, we need a list to store our elements. We are going to name it elements and create an empty list. And we are going to get all the elements of those categories inside our project. For that, we're going to use for loop command. I'm going to say for cat in categories, we use filtered element collector method. I'm going to name it collector. Filtered element collector, and as an argument we provide our project, and of course we look of category as an argument we provide cat. And since we are searching for each instance of elements, here we need to say where element is not element type. And in the elements list, we extend all the elements inside this variable. Now, as an output, we need our list of elements. Now let's save and run. All right, in the list, we collected all the walls and windows and doors. All right, that's pretty much for today, and we will continue the rest of the script in the next and final lesson of these tutorials. Stay tuned. Bye for now.